Oh, what is it? Oh, you're tired of seeing boomer shooters set in Egypt? Well, we're not, because this game is definitely not set in... Oh there, beloved viewer! I just want to let you know that I'll be attempting to move my streams to Twitch for now, so make sure you follow me on twitch.tv/broleg for Bad Mike Gaming. Anyways, do you enjoy shooting? Do you enjoy shooting at aliens? Well, this fine group of Croatian jets got the product you're looking for. 2001 was a great year for gaming. Devil May Cry,
I should have been the one to fill your dark soul with
Max Payne, Return to Castle Wolfenstein are some of the greatest games released in 2001. But another lesser played but just as sexually attractive title was Serious Sam: The First Encounter. At first glance you might say it's just another Quake, Duke Nukem Fortnite clone of its time. Boy, do I pity your lack of mental capacity. The most defining factor of Serious Sus is its engine that is so advanced and far ahead of its time it cannot be explained by any scientific method, so as intelligent gamers will pronounce it as bulkhead witchcraft. There is absolutely no game I can compare it to, even by modern standard. The only series whose cock came even slightly close to Serious Sam's majesty was Painkiller, which is just an inferior attempt at mimicking Serious Sam's glorious mechanics. Yes, you might have noticed that this review is absolutely not going to be biased even in the slightest. This has nothing to do with Serious Sam being the very first PC game that I ever played. Anyways, back to this godsend of a video game. A first-person Slug Destroyer released for PC in 2001 with absolute ball-stretching difficulty being the game's #1 priority.
Your little pussy belongs to me.
The game's cock is huge and the game isn't shy about letting it feel the insides of your stomach. The game consists of first and second encounter. Best way to play them today is to buy the Serious Sam Classics Revolution on Steam, which contains both encounters alongside new episodes, survival modes, new weapons, monsters, easy mod ability, and most importantly, modern resolution and settings. If you're a privileged slut, or if you are from Italy, you probably can't handle the gorgeous classical graphics. In that case,
you gay!
you can of course play the
HD
remake of the games, which in my opinion is actually a very good remaster. In order to have the full experience in
HD.
you have to buy both first and second encounters HD, but never actually install the first encounter, as by just owning it, all of its content will be available in the second encounter, just like in Left 4 Dead. But since I don't live south of the equator, I'll be reviewing the classic. Serious Sam is the most unique boomer shooter, which features the largest variety of levels, weapons, monsters, and pain. The game is so hard it made CV11 mildly upset about it.
Let's talk about the frustration factor of Serious Sam. It's a game that requires a certain amount of skill to play up until higher difficulties, and then it's just sadistic bullshit.
From ancient Egypt to South America to ancient Persia to medieval Germany, each chapter is so memorably painful as the game gets progressively more sexually attracted to you in the least consensual way imaginable. What differentiates the game from other virgin shooters of its time is that it throws everything it has at you and more, all at once. The difficulty gap between early levels and the rest of the game are a literal definition of natural selection, as by third level it will weed out all the casuals who the game will leave filled to the brim with its scrumptious seed. Obviously the only acceptable way of playing the game is in serious difficulty, which is literally ultra-violence. The hard difficulty is for bisexuals because they can't decide if they want to play on normal or serious. If you finish the game on normal difficulty, you might as well have not played the game at all, and you're also dead to me. The only explanation there is for you to play on anything less than normal is that you lost the life lottery and was born as the representative of the inferior gender.
Fuck.
You could also be a child, a cripple, or a Mac user. If you want to play anything above serious, you might as well just take a taser and proceed to incinerate your family jewels, as that might be just slightly less unpleasant. Serious difficulty doesn't just affect the damage you take. The game also has enemy spawns locked to difficulty, which means your serious run will be much more different from your run on normal. Starting the game, you're quickly introduced to the plot, or lack thereof. Aliens invade the world, and the world sends a middle-aged man with an uncontrollable rager back in time to fight them off. He may look like he's about to beat his wife, but don't be fooled, he'll beat yours instead. Your main antagonist is an entity known as
mentally deranged, yeah?
He's never seen physically, but is known to command the armies of the alien forces. And that's it for the story. The game literally has less plot than original Doom games. As soon as you spawn, you get face fucked by the amazing scale of this 2001 game. There are no invisible walls, so you can literally go into the sunset. And it's not just a gimmick. Most of the times, you will find secrets there, or an ugly bastard rape hentai starring you as the victim. The game's secret system is the best that I have ever seen, as they're so creative and memorable. It could be a weapon that you can't get until much later. It could be a heart, but most of the time, Pro Team prefers to punish your annoying curiosity by putting your face against the wall and penetrating you mercilessly with a trap you're not prepared to face, also known as There's nothing more insulting than managing to parkour your way to a secret area just to be met with a little white +1 HP pill, only to get rammed when you pick it up, and Crow Team knows that. The game is very fast-paced, and about 90% of the time will be an active war zone, triggering Sam's PTSD. If I want to explain the gameplay to a modern player, it feels like Doom Eternal but on a much larger scale. You're given a huge arsenal of weapons, all of which are situational. The enemy wrestlers still impressive to me. There's so many types of enemies in the game, even Crow Team forgot about them and just decided to spam the 2 most annoying enemy types throughout the entire game. The arenas get more and more complex and they begin spawning enemies from different hoods at once, causing you to learn to constantly switch weapons and maneuver their attacks as if you're
Alex the Lion!
You start off with nothing but a revolver with unlimited ammo. The pistol is shit but not useless. It has infinite range and can be used as a perfect tool to stun enemies or pick off the smaller ones. You will also quickly get your hands on the second one, doubling your fire rate. The knife is a fucking beast. Don't you ever underestimate it. While majority of the enemies have a severe case of rabies or radical homosexual tendencies towards Sam's sweaty wife beater, the knife can take out most weaker enemies in 1 or 2 hits. Also can take down the big ones quicker than you expect.
Come into my house! Suck my dick! They call me gay!
The chainsaw is fun. I prefer using the knife, but it can be a good tool to disperse huge hordes of gnars. The game gives you 2 shotguns, a pump shotgun and a coach gun. Probably the weapons you will end up using the most throughout the game. The pump shotgun is weaker, but it fires faster and has less spread, making it more effective at long ranges. The coach gun is a beefy motherfucker that perma-bans anything in 10-meter proximity from life. Then you get your Tommy gun and minigun. The Tommy gun has a slower fire rate, making it a nicer weapon to use, knowing it doesn't eat all of your ammo in 12 seconds. The minigun takes an extra second to wind up and go through ammo faster than you cock after you Google girl hot naked boob. The 2 explosive weapons you have are a rocket launcher and grenade launcher. The rockets fly pretty slow and can be shot in midair, but they work as a great measuring device, as by the end of the game, you will be measuring most enemies' health and how many rockets does it take to kill them. The grenade launcher has slightly more damage, the grenades roll faster, but you have to charge each shot to get its full explosive potential. This game has one of the most effective flamethrowers. You go through all enemies and has potential to have them permanently stun locked until they get in queue for a welfare check. The sniper rifle is a godsend. This is the best way of dispatching of snitchers camping far and wide, and for some reason no scoping does less damage than zoomed version, so turn off that shadow play, kids. The sniper rifle does insane damage and it's extremely satisfying to use, as it insta-gips most of weaker enemies. The laser gun is just Doom's plasma gun, but hell of a lot cooler. It is slower than the machine guns and isn't hit scan, but deals a lot more damage per shot. The final weapon is one of the most iconic super weapon in FPS history. They took the hand cannon definition a bit too seriously, and I don't know what to say about this. It's a cannon and it shoots massive cannonballs that can one-shot anything that's not a boss. To keep it interesting for you, I won't be breaking down the enemy roster, as I actually want you to play the game and learn about it for yourself. But there is one exception that I do have to talk about.
Don't you feel silly? Don't you feel stupid? Don't you feel a little ashamed?
By far the most annoying piece of biomass, a space kangaroo-looking skeleton known as the Queer, I mean Clear. His design was clearly made by a deranged maniac who's dangerous and should be apprehended without delay. They're a beefy melee unit who also has a ranged chainball attack. They leap into the player at insane speed like Chris Chan leaping on his mother, dealing insane amounts of damage. Why these suck ass is the fact that they're everywhere! They will either be swarming you in numbers of thousands or ambushing you at every fucking corner. Crow Team's definition of increased difficulty means hiding leaping rotten remains of what used to be a furry at literally every hallway you bother entering. Don't you love it when you clear an area, go to pick up some delicious fentanyl pills as your only sweet relief, only to be jump scared by the skeleton of Foxy from FNAF on your way back? The game has a very good sound design for both weapons and monsters. The music isn't the best, as it loops for too long per level, but it still has some solid hits. You're also provided with all the tools you need to make your own levels and campaigns, which is another good reason to get back into the game. You can also play the game in co-op with up to 42 fucking players, as well as a crap ton of multiplayer modes. Now does Broly recommend?
The giant horse cunt.
Serious Sam can get really annoying, as the developers want nothing more than the destruction of your nervous system. If you're a real gamer and you're up for the challenge, go ahead. For real though, even my wife could beat the game, so what's your excuse? Serious Sam has a very unique flavor and a lot of memorable goofy moments that you have to experience at least once, as there's no other game like that. Now let's end it here before I spoil any more of the fun, so don't forget to subscribe for more cringy reviews in the future. Have a good one.